Okay guys, how's it going? This is Squeegee here. I just wanted to give a quick lockpicking guide because, seriously, when I was trying to learn lockpicking at the very beginning when I made this character, I could not find, like, a single decent guide. Either the quality was awful, they didn't explain anything, they just, like, showed themselves lockpicking, or, they didn't speak English. Like, no offense to our non-English speaking mortal players, but, like, when you're trying to make content and the majority of the people and play the game speak English, like, it's hard to relay your message in videos. So, I thought I'd try to make a decent lockpicking guide that we could, try to learn something from. It's pretty simple. Like, there's not a lot to learn. Honestly, watching a video where there's no explanation, you probably could learn because it's very simple. It's very similar to the Oblivion lockpicking method, but there are some tips I can give that I don't think were really given. Jesus, that's random brightness out daytime, right? Yeah. So I think there are some tips I can give that are not given in the other videos, and I had to dig through forums to find, and I don't want people to have to dig through forums. So I got about 370 lockpicks. I went, down by the river in Tindrum, the fishing vendor guy. By the fishing vendor up in the buildings. He sells the picks. I will show that later in the video, but right now I'm just going to worry about teaching you how to lockpick. So let's get started. Now, there are two chests right here in Tindrum. You can see right there's the bank. Right there is the tutorial gate. So you come out here, there's a little market, and here are these two chests. Now, these are probably the easiest chests to pick because either they're almost always picked or, they're just simple chests in the first place. Probably a combination of both. So what you want to do is you want to walk up. I have my lockpicks assigned to 1. So I just hit 1, and it brings up this, okay? So it's, like I said, very similar to the Oblivion minigame where you lockpick. Same exact thing, doesn't look as pretty, and is not quite as smooth. I will warn you, it is not like Oblivion in the sense where you take one lockpick and you just go to town and you just start locking those pins in place, because no. As soon as you left click, I will waste a lockpick just to show you. Anywhere, you just left click, one lockpick down. They break every single click, so you have to be kind of careful. Now, you will go through a lot of lockpicks for a chest. It's, like, near impossible, I would say, to do an entire chest without breaking a lockpick. So, don't get discouraged when you're just flying through your lockpicks. They're 2 silver each, so, it's not terrible. They're not that hard to get, but you want to have, I would say, 100 lockpicks if you're going to try a chest. That way it's not a waste. You have time to run through them all. If you already have 5 of the tumblers done and then you run out of lockpicks, well, guess what? You come back to it when you have more and those tumblers are not done anymore. The second you exit, these tumblers are going to fall back down. So it's good to just have enough. Alright, so it's simple enough. You right click and you can just lift up and you'll move all the tumblers up, okay? Really simple. You always want to start at the end where it starts you, because if you don't, you start down here, you're going to move this one forward and it's going to knock the first one back down. So you always want to start at the end. I like to move it at the base over here, but you can move it anywhere. You can move it literally anywhere on the screen, wherever is most comfortable for you. I always just move it over here because I feel like I have more control when I'm actually holding the handle. It feels a little bit more reactive. So what you're aiming to do is to get this red part, this line, on this black line. Where these two meet, you want it to get on this black line, and you want to left click. That'll lock the tumbler in place, and you want to do that for every single one. Then it'll open. It's not that hard in concept, but to actually pull it off is somewhat annoying sometimes. Now these chests right here, super easy with the lockpicking skill way up. See this? I can just move it up and kind of really line it up pretty easily. I just got 2 tumblers in one click, but that is not the case for every chest. I'm going to show a few chests to you guys with varying difficulties, because like I said, this is I would say the easiest chest, and I'm still wasting lockpicks. I only waste a couple, but I'm not going to waste 100 on this because it's the easiest chest. So, just like that, it opens. Press R to open it. You got 1 silver and 11 copper. Super not worth it. I spent 5 lockpicks opening this. These aren't really worth it unless they're for practice. So, and even then, you might as well practice on a chest that actually has decent loot inside. So, a chest that does have decent loot, I will show you up here. Right across from the bank up by the house vendor is a pretty good one to practice on too. It has fairly decent loot whenever I've opened it, and it's pretty worth it. Basically, you want it to pay for more than your lockpicks when you open it. That's the simplest way to look at it. And anybody that tells you lockpicking is bad money, which I don't know why anyone would, they're completely lying because lockpicking is great money. Assuming that other people aren't lockpicking around the same time, and I'll explain why in a moment after I lockpick this one. Or perhaps while I'm doing it. We'll see. Depends how hard it is, I guess. If I need to focus. Alright, so I walk up, press my hotkey for my lockpicks, and we are back in this. So I like to rake it a couple times for good measure, you know, just like a fancy real lockpicker. So lift it up, try to lock it in place. These ones, as you can tell, I'm already breaking a couple. Slightly harder than the ones down there because the ones down there are always picked. And the reason for that is when a lock is picked on a chest, the timer will reset on that, and that means the loot is going to be worse. Basically, what chests do is, over a period of 4 hours, they get harder and harder, and the loot gets better and better, and it caps off at, I think, 4 hours. So, when a chest has just been picked, and you wait 5 minutes and go back and pick it, guess what? You're not getting good loot out of that. You're going to get like 5 cuprum, because it hasn't been sitting for very long. What you want to do is about, every 4 hours, theoretically, if you can, go pick every chest you know where it is, because that's going to give you the best loot. I'm not going to show you where every chest is in Tindrum, because there's actually a lot. I want to say there's probably 10, if not more, in Tindrum. I don't know the exact number, I just know the ones I go to. But you can look around. Honestly, just look around on buildings, look around on rooftops. That's where they mostly are. This game, lockpicking, it's heavily rewarded by exploration, so don't be afraid to go looking around to find new chests. It's super worth it just to have a path of chests to go around and lockpick. So yeah, as you can tell, this one's significantly harder than the one down there. I pushed up like 3 tumblers in the first one, in the first pick down there. And now I'm losing several of my picks. I'm probably going to lose maybe 30, maybe more on this one. But I'm betting that it's going to be worth it based on the loot. Unlike that one down there, which I only spent 5, but it wasn't worth it. I lost money. So, you want to avoid the ones that are popular, really. And those ones down there are super popular because they're super visible and you don't have to go searching for them. Okay, see what I got. Yeah, that's okay. I think, that's, wait, no. No, that's not really worth it. Kind of. Actually, with the exceptional spirit, probably at least evened out. But yeah, up here, by the house vendor, there's another one to practice on if you want to try something a little more difficult. And, my skills are maxed, so you can kind of correlate there if you're, compared to yours, how hard it's going to be. It will get harder if your skills are lower. It's not an easy thing at the beginning. You should probably stick to that one and that one because they're just a lot easier. It's basically what happens is the harder the chest is, the harder it is for you to push up those pins. So these are super easy. I can just do a very, very minor mouse stroke and lift these up. I'm just barely moving my mouse. And then the harder ones, it's going to have resistance. It's going to push back, kind of like there. That's because I am literally dragging my mouse across 1 pixel at a time. This is what it looks like when a chest is kind of hard. You have to fight it. And that's why it's hard to line these up. Watching me do it, it probably looks, you see me breaking lockpicks, you're going to be like, oh, that's easy. What is this idiot doing making a tutorial? But really, it's pretty difficult, so, you'll learn that. You'll learn that the hard way, kid. So I'll pick one more for you, and then I'll show you where the lockpick vendor is. There's one right over here by Arx Meridius. He's going to be like, hello there, Squeegee. I have work for you. Bring me undead heads. Learn about life. Oh, want to make some money? The double question. Alright. It's kind of hidden in this bush. Not that hidden. This one's normally not picked that often, but it doesn't have that much loot. Oh yeah, this one has definitely been picked recently because of how easy it is for me to push these pins up. It's probably not going to be worth it for me to pick, but whatever. Do it for the video, I'm already blowing it hard, so I got to slow down, stop talking so much. It's all in the wrist. And if you have a high sensitivity mouse, honestly, I think it makes it harder. I think slowing your mouse down a bit, like I turn off like the fast FPS mode on my mouse. I have a little button, like most gaming mouses do. I turn it off, because you want that slower stroke. You don't want a really fast one, because if I turn it on and I'm doing it, oh god, oh geez, it's really flying up there, like I'm hardly moving it. But if I turn it off, I can slow and steady, ease it up. And sometimes these chests will actually have gems in them, so it's worth to check them sometimes if you're feeling lucky. If you're already done with your chest route and you want to go for more, you want to go for gold, you know, you can check these, because I've found gems in these before, but I don't know if that was just because they've sat there and cooked for, 4 hours, but I don't know. Yeah, I was really frustrated with the guides I found when I was trying to learn lockpicking. And like I said, the tips are helpful, but they're not like... A lot of this stuff is kind of self-explanatory, but sometimes you just need to hear that, these are the only tips. Like, the rest of it is kind of skill and getting a feel for it. And I don't want this video to be terribly long, but then again, longer videos, it doesn't really matter. You have a long video and it is informative the whole time, totally fine in my opinion. I really blow right now, I guess. There we go. I have a lazy eye, so this makes it kind of hard to see. My left eye is literally staring at my other monitor right now, and my right eye is looking at these tumblers. It's a really tough life. I always just switch. Like if I'm failing really hard, I just do a little bit of this, refresh my mind, think about my life, think about why I'm a thief in Tindrum, and then come back to it. Why can't I be a crafter, Okay, that's pretty worth it. A lion shield, I don't know how much that is worth. I've never actually found one of those in here before, but that's worth, definitely. Oh, milady, slow your stride. You went right over that chest. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to walk you over to where the lockpicks are. Yeah, we profited a little bit. Show you where the lockpicks are, and then I will sign off and let you leave with the information I give you. It's kind of a long walk, honestly. I'll probably make some cuts or fast forward a little bit, just because it's a pretty long walk. It's gonna be boring. If I have something to say, I'll slow it down and talk for a minute. But okay, in front of the bank, this is the central hub of where all the filth happens, all the dirty. Look at this guy. New tower shield. That's pretty sweet. I actually haven't played since the tower shield's been put in. I just started playing again. Figured I could make some YouTube content to make it more interesting for myself. So the YouTube scene for Mortal is not so hot. Whenever you watch, it's always like weird PvP videos with like some awful music put over it. And like honestly, Mortal PvP's fun when you're playing it, but to watch it, not so hot. So I don't know. I don't think PvP videos are where we need to be as a community right now. I think informative videos like this are really important, because the biggest thing about this game, the biggest problem, is that the noobs are immediately pushed away. This game makes them confused. It makes them annoyed, because a lot of the times they will die within the first hour they're playing. They'll lose what they've had, maybe they don't know where the bank is. They die to a PKer, right? They just get out of the tutorial place. They're in the graveyard. They're exploring. They're figuring out they can kill zombies for money. Arx Meridius told them. And then they get killed by a PKer, and they take all their heads, and then they're frustrated, and then they quit. But, if the content was a little more informative out there, they would know ahead of time that there are PKers in the graveyard. And if help chat wasn't so bad, that wouldn't be such a problem. But help chat is literally, people use it as global chat. Down there, you can see people answering questions, which is great. But, during high time in this game, it's filled with people just talking to each other like a global chat. And it's not supposed to be a global chat. The GMs will tell you that. If a GM is in the chat, they will say, this isn't global, this is help chat, please don't use it as global. So, that's another tip for you guys. Don't use help chat as global chat. It's really annoying for people that are actually trying to get tips. And don't troll people in help chat. It's really annoying. All you're doing is making the situation worse for new players, and it really sucks when our player base is 2,000 people on average on one server, like, and we're divided between 2 continents. Like, it's not worth it just to make noobs quit the game. It's not helping our case. It's not helping Starvolt's case. So, all right. So as you saw, I went up that path, past the graveyard, into that little second bank area. I think it's called the Slums Bank or something. And you come down here to the left. Over here is where the bandits are, the veteran bandits, and the one of the thief tutors, I believe, or no, the assassin, the guy that wants you to trade heads, I think, is in that doorway over there. So you just want to keep going. You want to go over here. You want to get to that fishing vendor. And another annoying thing about the forums and everybody else that's done lockpicking guides is they're always like, or, you know, someone asks, where's the lockpick vendor? And then people on the forums are so greedy and so not kind to new players. They're always like, well, only the best thieves know where the lockpicking vendor is. So maybe do a little searching, become a better thief. And then that doesn't help the new player. They don't learn to lockpick. They quit the game a couple weeks later because they don't find anything fun to do, because lockpicking was all they looked forward to as a subscriber. So, yeah, you're not helping our case. Edgy lockpick vendor guys, ones that try to hide the lockpick vendor. Alright, so this bone vendor, you want to turn right. Follow the river, see the bone vendor, turn right. Go up these wooden stairs. Incredible architecture here in Tindrum. Wooden stairs on the outsides of buildings. There's a barrel here, I always check it, see what's inside. Nothing for me, I don't need it. I'm a rich thief, everyone knows. And there's actually a chest here, too, that always has pretty decent stuff in it. I picked it a little earlier when I came to buy the lockpicks for this video, but, yeah, it's a pretty good pick. It's normally where I start my lockpicking path. So, here he is. He's just standing up here. Smuggler. Whoa, I did a little jump. He's just looking over, contemplating why he's a thief in Tindrum. So you talk to him. Lockpicks are the only thing he sells. You know, like I said, 2 silver each. Not bad at all. Boom, bam, just buy 50, whatever. With that gold I used, that's normally what you want to do. You want to just buy with the money that you get from lockpicking, and then it'll just grow from there. You'll snowball, you'll get more money, you'll profit every time. So just pick the right chests, let them cook. Don't try to come back in half an hour and pick them, because it's not going to be worth it. So I think that concludes this guide, and I hope it's been more informative than the other guides out there. I'm going to try to make some better content for Mortal, because I am personally just really tired of bad content being put out on YouTube. It's bad, and people don't stream this game because there's only one server, and if you're streaming, the odds are people are going to see what you're doing, and they're going to come PK you and, you know, ruin your day. So I think it's time we had some decent content. So please like, subscribe, share, whatever you got to do. I will keep trying to provide good content to you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this helped you out when you're trying to lockpick, and yeah, have a great day.